I've told so many people that there's a golf course called Wannamoyset that you should go see. It is a par 69, and I once wrote in their foreword to one of their books, I said, Wannamoyset's par of 69 should be worn like a badge of courage, because there's every shot that you have to play on that golf course, yet it's barely 100 acres. It's maybe a shade under 100 acres, but it has one par 5, but it's just filled with the most beautiful, interesting holes that you could want.
You're thinking going there, well, it's going to be really tight. And it's not tight at all. I mean, the fairways are big and broad, and some places they sort of tie together here and there. They've done a great restoration job on that in recent years, thinning out trees, getting the fairways back out to the widths that they were originally. You know, some really interesting property right around the clubhouse. You know, there's deep hollow that you hit over on the first hole, and then the second hole turns around and comes back into a low area, and then there's that little third hole in the corner that's sort of an iconic Ross hole. A great set of greens, you know, terrific golf course.
I also think that because he evolved in his style, it's very clear to me, for example, early on, his first designs right around and after World War I, there's a lot of irregular bunkering, and as he gets older and as the golf ball and equipment develop, he becomes a little more strategic, he becomes a little more parsimonious in his placement of bunkers and not quite as random. So Wannamoyset, for example, which held the PGA in 1931, you can see the change as the clubs changed, and also sand bunkers, the advent of the sand wedge. So his designs changed and evolved. He adapted his style.
So, you know, a course doesn't have to be 7,500 yards to test people. In the end, as a reflection of the round, did most people hit every club in their bag? Probably did on every Donald Ross course. He wanted people, yes, he wanted people to be tested, but after all, he said golf should be a pleasure, not a penance.
After a 3-hour morning weather delay at the final round of the prestigious Northeast Amateur, the final group dodged some final raindrops before teeing off. Sunny skies the rest of the day, especially for record-setting third-round leader Collin Morikawa, who was at 12 under starting the day, and a bird on number 1. Matched with a Doug Gim bogey, and the lead was quickly 3.
It helped. It definitely helped. But, you know, I knew there was a lot of golf left, and anything could happen.
And then Morikawa, a series of nice par saves.
I missed 5 of my first 6 greens, so, you know, I knew it wasn't going to be an easy day out there. I knew Doug and Theo were going to put it up, you know, put the pressure on.
A bogey on 5, but he got that shot back with a birdie on 7 before another stumble on 8. Gim kept burning the edges for birdies. Theo Humphrey was frustrated early, but finally started to get things going. The bird fell, and he would get into contention. Back 9 Morikawa struggling for pars.
When I was making up and downs to save par all day, you know, those are the ones that really count, and, you know, I'm glad I got away with it today.
And Gim got within 1 with a birdie on 13.
You know, I was just keeping the same game plan. You know, I had a game plan for each hole. And, you know, based off the wind, it might have changed a little bit.
Gim, though, with bogey 15.
Felt like I did everything that I could have today. You know, obviously a little bit disappointed, but, I mean, I never gave up till the end.
And Morikawa with a 2-shot lead the rest of the way.
The chip on 17 is probably the worst chip I've seen all week. So, you know, I knew I had to put a good chip on 18, and, you know, I did, and it was perfect. So I left it right underneath the hole for a nice, easy putt.
On the way to a 2-stroke win over Humphrey and Shintaro Bond, who was spectacular with a 62 to tie Humphrey for second. Gim ended up 4th.
Oh, it feels amazing. You know, the history and the players in this field, you know, like they say, some of the best players haven't won this tournament. And, you know, to be a part of the history of the Northeast, you know, it's fantastic.
Our 56th Northeast Amateur Champion, with the score of -11, 265, tied for third all-time scoring in the Northeast Amateur, is Colin Morikawa.
This has been, you know, one of my favorite places now. People always talked about this course and how it's a par 69, but you know, that doesn't stop it from being a great course. This has been a fantastic week for all of us. You know, I just want to say thank you, and let's all give a round of applause to everyone and all the competitors. Thank you very much.